What I like about Ken is sort of the contrast and the opposition in his character, and he gives off, obviously a very hippie vibe. He's very new age. He's the spiritual stripper, but in many ways, he's also the most neurotic of all of them. So he's the guy who's meditating, but he really needs to meditate. And I think stripping for him has always been a means of just like having this communal experience, but it's grown stale for him, and he doesn't really know what he's going to do after this convention that they're all going to, because he's kind of the only other source of income he has are these residual checks from regional commercials he did for like Tide. So he's in trouble. He's divorced. He's really looking for some new direction. I did sing on Glee a few years ago. I sang a couple duets with Darren Criss. This is the first time, really, though, that it's me center stage with a spotlight on me doing an interpretation of a song that I tried to put out there. And, it really all goes back to Channing. He wanted everyone to have a moment to really get to shine in this film. And somehow he'd heard or he knew I could sing or something. I don't know how. And he was like, "You got to do this." And I was like, "Well, let's aim really, really high, because then at least if we fall, we'll still be somewhere above ground level." Greg Jacobs and Steven Soderbergh have worked together for so long that they have just this beautiful, symbiotic relationship where they understand each other without speaking, and they have a shorthand. And but I've really enjoyed getting to work with Greg as a director on this film. With Steven as the DP, there are going to be interesting angles and really unique coverage and scenes and things like that. But Greg is just such a loving, kind, positive energy. I mean, he's like the cast dad. He really does support everyone. I mean, he was in tears at the end of some of our numbers because he was just so proud that we'd gotten out there and done it. He's like a baseball dad, but he has such great insight into each and every one of the characters, and really wants everyone to have their moment to shine as well. I'm a huge fan of Channing, but I have to say I was equally blown away by him as a producer on this film. There have been times where he sussed things out in rehearsal where I was like, uh-oh, this could be a dead end, and he figures it out. And he and Reed and Greg just have this synchronicity, and they get together in a corner, and suddenly they come back with an even better idea, and the scene takes on a whole new life, and it all makes sense, and it works. But all I know is that we've had a blast making this film, and there's been so many experiences and scenes that I know are unlike anything else you're gonna see in a studio movie next year, and they're completely unique to this world and this story. And I'm just so proud to be a part of it with these guys, and so thankful that I get to be a part of it. And from whatever happens, man. The experience we had here was real, and it was amazing.